Okay, good morning and welcome to Mishna Yomi. Today we're learning Mesachas Kilayim Perek Zayin, the seventh Perek, Mishnayos Gimel and Dalid. Um, this is Hay also. Dalid and Hay seem to be together. I don't know. All right, we'll do them all together. We'll say Vav and Zayin and Ches for after this Yom Tov Shabbos duo. So Mishnah Gimel says, "Elo osrin v'lo mekadshin." These things are usher to do. You're not allowed to plant them. You're violating Isser, maybe even Doraisa, by planting them next to each other. But they're not mekadshin, meaning b'di'ever, they don't make it kodesh that you have to burn it. Most are chorban akarim. We mentioned a karachas akarim, a bald spot in a karim. You need 16 amos by 16 amos of bald space where there's no karim in order to plant something else. You distance 4 amos from each side, and 8 amos you can plant in the middle. Let's say you only had 15 amos. You didn't have 16 amos difference. You mark Dalet amos from each side, and instead of planting 8 amos, you plant 7 amos, and that's called most are chorban hakarim. That's usher to do. Karachas hakarim, you need 16 amos. But you were marking Dalet amos, which is avodas hakarim, so therefore it wouldn't usher, it wouldn't make it kodesh. Most are machol hakarim. Again, machol hakarim is when you need 12 amos next to the fence. You have to mark Dalet amos from the karim and Dalet amos from the fence and plant those 4 amos. So you only had 11 amos, so you're marking Dalet amos from the karim and you plant 7 amos or 3 amos in the middle. That would be usher, but it wouldn't be makadesh. Most are piskei aris. We talk about piskei aris where you have those vines. You have 11 vines wrapped around the pergola, and the middle one gets destroyed and it's no longer there. So therefore, technically, you don't have to be marchik from that. It creates 2 separate arisim, right, which have a din somewhat like a karim. But that planting in that middle area would be usher, but would not be, even though it's next to an aris, but it wouldn't be part of the aris. It wouldn't be makadesh. Most are apaprios. Again, if you're, instead of extending it over pergola, you're kind of extending over lattice work where there's beams going shesi ve'erev going both ways. It's only usher to plant underneath that, but the rest of the lattice work where there's no vines, you can plant underneath that. You're not allowed to plant underneath the lechatchila, but it doesn't usher. Avaltachas agefen, but if you have a full-fledged vine, grape plant, a vine, and you plant directly underneath one of the zmoros, one of the vines, avodas hagefen, or if you have avodas hagefen, when you have a single vine, you have to be marking vav tvachim, 6 tvachim, from a single vine, and you plant within those 6 tvachim. The arba amos bekarim, or if you have full-fledged karim, where you have at least 2 rows of 3 or 2 rows of 2 v'yoti zanav, and then you plant within 4 amos of that karim, areil miskadjos, it would make it kodesh. It wouldn't need sreifa. Dalet and hay, they're branched together. Mesachek is kvanal gabi tvos chavero, someone who takes his vine and he has his friend's property next to him, and he extends the vines on top of the wheat, let's say, of his friend. Hareza kidesh v'chayev b'achriyu. So it does make it kodesh b'diavad, like we learned. If it's underneath the zmoros and it grows 1/200th, so therefore it's makadesh it, and it would be usher. It's chayev sreif. You have to burn that wheat, but he has to pay for it chayev b'achriyu. So because he did it, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon, Omrim, ein adam makadesh davar she'ein shlo. We say it technically doesn't even work. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon say it doesn't belong to you. You can't be makadesh. You can only makadesh your thing, right? Lo sizra kar micha. It has to be your karim, but someone else's karim you can't ask. I remember Yossi Ma'aseh be'echad. There was an incident with one person, Shazara as karmo b'shvius. He planted his vineyard during Shvita, during Shemitah on the 7th year, where you don't own it, where it's ownerless. Shemitah is ownerless, so it's like someone else's field. You can't aser. Let's say you had wheat growing there and vines growing there. You can't aser. It doesn't become aser because Shemitah produce does not belong to you. So it's like Mekadesh Davar Shein Shalo. It's not called Karmicha, so therefore it wouldn't aser. We'll discuss in Ian Mishnayos this concept of Ein Adam Osa Davar Shein Shalo coming up right now.